Hey y'all, it's Tanala. So today I'm going to be talking about something that I came to the realization of. So sometimes when you are kind of like going through something in your mind and you are just trying to, calculate how in the world your physical is going to end up looking like what it is God promised you, right? Ask yourself this question. Ask yourself, well, wait a minute. Why do God make promises in the first place? Why do God make promises in the first place? So I asked myself this question because something I've been telling myself lately is, okay, well, what's for me is for me. And I brush it off. Like, no matter what something looks like, no matter how rocky the road is to get there, I tell myself, well, all right, well, what's for me is for me. And I leave it alone. So yesterday I really asked myself, I said, well, wait a minute. Like, cause I was kind of like in my head about something and like debating about something in my head. Then I shook it off and I was like, well, what's for me is for me. Then after that, I said, well, wait a minute. God, he made me a promise anyway. He gave me multiple promises. So it's going to happen either way. But then I asked myself, I said, and I had never asked myself this before. I said, well, why do God give promises? And I got my answer. God gives promises because he knows that for a while, the physical is not going to look like what he said was going to happen. For a while, it's going to look like your prayers is not coming into, manifestation. For a while, it's going to seem like you're going through so much trouble to get to what it is that he promised you. It's going to look like the completely opposite of what he said would happen. It's going to look like the completely opposite of your prayers. During this time, stay in prayer, stay in faith, and kind of just stand back and think about what it is he's doing. So God gives promises because he knows that the road is going to be a bit rocky when it comes to getting there. A lot of times when we pray about something, we pray about it because we know that we cannot do it in our own physical strength. That means that if we're taking something to God, that means that we are, trusting him to make it happen because we know that we cannot do it in our own hands. So usually when we do something in our own hands, we may have our desirable outcome for a little while, but it does not last. It crashes down again because we did it in our own hands. So pay attention now. Just pay attention. And I want you, as I'm speaking, I want you to just start thinking about, all the things in your life that you tried to do with your own hands that didn't work. But when you gave it to God, it worked out just perfectly fine. And it ended up, lasting longer than it did when you did it yourself. So think about this, right? When you do something out of your own strength, when you do something out of your own hands, it does not last. But when you take something to God, it may seem like it took you so much longer to get, but it lasted longer. And you also learned something during the process. So listen here, I'm giving somebody a major key to something. I'm giving somebody a major key to a breakthrough. I want all of y'all to take this into consideration when you're going through something, when you're going through something in your mind, you're going through some sort of internal battle, and you feel like you'll just never get what it is you pray for. All right, listen, a lot of times when you're waiting on what it is that you prayed for, he's taking you through a process. The process may seem like it hurts so bad. The process may seem like it's just so difficult, but you are learning something in the process. So when you are learning, whatever it is that you're learning in the process is preparing you for what it is that you prayed for. Okay? So that when you get what you prayed for, you don't lose it. So that when you get what you prayed for, you have that lesson attached to it. It may have taken you a while to learn that lesson, and the process may have seemed like it took so long, but you have all of the tools and all of the equipment you need to keep what it is that you asked him for. So I'm going to go back down the line again. All right. God makes promises because he knows that the road will be a bit rocky when it comes to getting there. God makes promises because he knows that in your human mind, you think it should happen like this, but on God's timing, it don't work like that, okay? Your human mind cannot fathom God's timing, okay? And if you sit there and you keep focusing on how long it's going to take, it's going to just end up taking longer. Really just pay attention to what it is he's doing. Pay attention to the process, all right? When you do something in your own hands, it's not going to last because you don't have all of the tools and all of the equipment you need to keep it. So when you trust God's process and you wait on his timing, he gives you every single thing that you need in order to keep it, right? Also, so that once he give you whatever it is that you've been asking him for, when times may get, a little tough with that thing, for example, say if you've been asking him for a new position and it may seem like it's taking him so long to place you in that new position, pay attention to the process. Pay attention to what it is that, he's showing you. What is it that he's equipping you with? And so that this will help you so that once he gives you the promise, you will be able to stay in that position. You will be able to keep that thing because you have all the necessary tools. And during times when, being in that new promotion, being in that new position gets a little tough, when people start, getting on your nerves and you have all these new responsibilities, there's going to be like, wait a minute, in my season of waiting, God equipped me with all the tools necessary to handle a time as this. So just keep these things in your mind. So when you're going through something in your mind, tell yourself that what's for you is for you. When you're going through something in your mind, tell yourself, whoa, wait a minute. God made a promise. He gave me a promise. Then ask yourself, well, why do he make promises in the first place? Then take a look at your road and realize, wait a minute, this road, it ain't that rocky. It's just the process. This is preparing me. And just know that it's going to be all worth the wait. All of it. It's going to be worth the wait because you're getting all the tools necessary and you'll be able to keep it. You'll be able to keep the promise. It won't slip through your fingers because you have everything necessary. So trust God in your waiting. Don't get discouraged. Keep pushing. It's going to be all right. All right. I love y'all so much. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Please like this video and subscribe. Bye.